Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another podcast of Storytime with Brad. This will be episode 4. And today we're going to be talking about what it would be like if I wasn't adopted, and if I run out of anything for that, what would it be like if I was white instead of black? Because there are differences. Now, uh, let me start off by saying, I am adopted. That's one thing you know. I'm adopted. Um, so that's that. Next of all, excuse me. I just drank like a whole soda, so if you guys hear a few burps, it's probably because of the soda. But let me just say that um, I'm adopted. Yes, I was adopted at birth. That's pretty much all you need to know for right now. Um, So if I wasn't adopted, well, let's get into my birth family. My birth family, currently my mom is dead, and my birth mom is dead, and my father is just, he's in prison. So yeah, there's that. So let's go ahead and start talking. So when I was young, uh, when I was born, my mother knew she couldn't support me, so she gave me up to my now family. My adoptive family, and I think here's what's weird is my mom had a daughter before me. Her name was Portia, and she was able to raise her, but she wasn't able to raise her to the best of her ability, I guess is what you would say. Uh, she wasn't able to fully take care of it. And I'm sorry if I start stuttering like I did in the banquet story. For the banquet story, I was really nervous. For this, I'm not nervous. It's just this is a very sensitive matter to me. For me, I don't like to talk about it a lot. But I decided this would be a really good podcast. It would be a really deep podcast for me to do. So yeah, she wasn't able to take. She took good care of Portia. But eventually, uh, Portia had to move out, and she moved out at the age of like 16 or something, and she was pretty much on her own. She made some decisions that are questionable in my opinion. But that's because I was raised this way. She just did what she had to do to survive. But anyways, I won't get into much about that. If you guys want a podcast about my sister later, we can do that. But anyways, I guess she thought that it would be best for me to go to a different family because of just the fact that um, how is it raised or rose? I guess raised Portia. She didn't want that for me, so she gave me up. If she would have kept me, I think that I would be different. I'd probably be in juvenile detention or something like that because I was a bad kid. I sometimes I still am a bad kid, but I feel like I would be robbing liquor stores and pushing on drugs and that kind of stuff if I was really, 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 if I wasn't adopted. Because my adopted family, I went to public school for elementary, and then middle school and high school so far. I'm going to a private school, so um, if I probably would have been going to all public school if I even went to school. And if I were to guess, I probably would have moved to Ohio with my mom or wherever she went. It was either Ohio or Idaho, one of the two. I would have moved there, so I wouldn't have any of the friends that I have now. And again, I would probably be robbing liquor stores and pushing over a bunch of people. I might actually be dead if I was not lucky enough. I wouldn't know Christ. I wouldn't know him. I wouldn't. I'd probably be an addict, like a alcohol abuser, and that kind of stuff. So it's a really sad topic to talk about, but I feel like I should put this out there because uh, some people, they just don't realize how lucky they are. Um, like the old saying, you don't realize how lucky you really are until you lose everything. And some of those kids won't lose anything, so they won't actually get to appreciate what they have. But maybe if they hear it from a different perspective, they'll appreciate more of what they have. Like I've come to appreciate my stuff, right? And I guess I could talk about how my ethnicity has really affected things because it really has. My being part African American has really affected a lot of things. Like, for instance, every day at school, my friends call me a slave. I get pushed around as in like I'm a slave. I get treated unfairly sometimes. I feel like people, even though slavery and civil rights are all done with, I still feel like there are different people in this world that are still prejudiced to me because I'm African American and I'm not white. I'm not gonna say any names, but like some parents I've known in the past that they won't let me anywhere near their daughter or even son for that fact because I'm African American, and they think that I will infect their. I use infect lightly, uh, infect, quote unquote, infect their sibling. They're not their siblings, my bad. Their offspring, their daughter, their son. So I didn't have many friends growing up. I'm lucky to have the friends that I have now. Um, and I see the differences in society today with African Americans, and it disgusts me because uh, it's not something you would normally think about, like as in like, oh yeah, they get treated equally, but really, when you take an African American, uh, and then you take a white man and you put him in a job interview, uh, I'd say 7 times out of 10, the white man will get the job because uh, there's something about white men and white women that it's just their presentation's better. Uh, they look better in like a suit or what. Like say it's a business interview. Like they want to be I don't know, something that has to do with business. Okay. They go into their family, no, not family business. It's more like, let's say you're gonna go interview for Apple. Okay, you're gonna interview for Apple. You want to be like their accountant. They're gonna probably pick the white man over the black man because the black man doesn't look well in a suit and tie, or they just like they don't have. And some people would say, hey, maybe it's because he doesn't have the right qualifications. No, that's not it. Okay, like you could have the correct qualifications and credentials to be an accountant, a money manager, or something like that, and you're African American. But when they see a white man, uh, let's say it's a white man hiring, right? If the white man sees a white man and the white man sees a black man, they're going to pick the white man because the white man, for all of history, pretty much has been superior. Um, and if it's a black man hiring, I'd say that he'd be more inclined to pick the black man because we know how hard it is to get jobs, and the white man could go anywhere else and get a job. Again, this is my opinion personally. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to disagree with me. Um, but this is all my opinion and just how I've seen it. And I'll be honest, I don't like being called slave every day. I really don't. But there's really nothing you can do about it because the dude who calls me a slave, all he does is push me around, and he's a lot bigger than me. And I know some people would say, then why are you friends with him? Why don't you get away from him? It's not as simple as just getting away from him because he's been in my life for 6 years, and we ride the and some of them we ride the bus together, and you see each other every day. You can't. We have most of our classes together. You can't just get away from that. If you know what I mean. If you don't, then you won't understand where I'm coming from clearly. But yeah, that's that's what I'm saying. If you guys have any other thoughts, hypothesis, anything else that you could share, please share it with me. I'm very interested in this kind of stuff and what you guys think. So thanks for listening to this episode of Storytime with Brad. If you guys have any more suggestions for podcasts, let me know down in the comment section. I really need some help coming up with ideas. Thanks for listening again, and we'll see you next episode.